Today we're going to be looking at inclusive support planning. So today our host is myself, Chris Tanner. I'm the iPlanic Client Director for UK and Ireland. My own background was actually in social care before joining the Spiraco. I've been registered manager, ops director and project consultant across a range of services. And I'm joined a bit later on today by Lisa Jane, who's our international client director, who's been with us for 6 years now, but came with 25 years experience on the social care side as well. So we both have, between the two of us, there's a good 35, 40 years experience there. So today, we're just going to, our last webinar, we looked at how technology is supporting social care providers, particularly during this uncertain time through coronavirus and new ways of working. This time, we're going to be looking more at focusing on the individual supported, looking at what inclusive support planning is, what role technology has in promoting inclusion in support planning. We'll have a quick demonstration of iPlanic and just go through some of the capabilities in this area. And then at the end of the demonstration, there'll be a chance for some question and answers. And as I said, there's a chat function along the side if you want to use that. So we'll just start off when we're looking at the inclusive support planning. We hear the term person-centered used a lot, but really, what does it mean? Obviously, it literally means putting the person supported at the centre of their support, of their support plan, but at the centre of what? And I think really it means that it means that they're going to be at the centre of the various services and activities that comprise someone's support. It's not just one service; it's often a real wraparound surprise. So one of the things we need to consider when we're looking at person-centred planning. So obviously, it means that their outcomes are the real focus of their planning. And we need to consider what an outcome is, how do we achieve them. Additionally, we need to consider their safety. And again, when we're being inclusive, how do we make sure that they're maintaining their health and well-being, managing risk and the safeguarding still remains person-centered. And also, inclusive support planning ensures that that to remain person-centered, that the individual supported has choice of control. But we need to consider, what does that look like? How are choices supported? How are they recorded? And also, you have to consider how we're managing unwise choices. Excuse me. It also has to be responsive and adaptable, as we know. And how do we respond to changes? How do we adapt to if somebody's wishes or their needs change and still remain person-centered? And how do you respond in a person-centered way? And when you put all of that together and you're building a support plan, you've got to deliver that service, and there could be various people involved in that process, various services. And so we need to make sure that we're maintaining that person-centered approach during delivery and monitoring it, rather than going through all of this process and then just delivering it how we wanted to anyway. So really, to achieve that sort of person-centered approach and to make sure support planning is inclusive, of course, we need to involve the individual. We need to ask them at every opportunity what it is that they want, what it is that they want to achieve, what it is that they want to do. But it's not just the individual. Everybody also has the circle of support. Now, the circle of support is extremely important to keep involved in that process as well. So who could be involved in a circle of support? So my own experience and various projects that I've worked on in trying new models of care and trying to be more inclusive. So obviously, family are very important to individuals, and they normally have a lot of insight that maybe other professionals may not do. And obviously, people's friends and individuals' friends are very important to them. They'll have spiritual or religious needs, and people as well, from local communities and local groups related to their religious or spiritual beliefs. Community services, the local community is very, very important, especially as we look to more sort of more community-based models of care delivery and support delivery. The third sector services may also be involved, but in the voluntary sector, volunteers and local groups. Then, of course, we have the more formal care and support providers. Social workers will often be a key part of the circle of support. Specialist health professionals, such as, you might have physios, speech therapists, specialist nursing, including district nurses as well in community settings, and of course you have GPs. And I think these people are all these people and bodies are all very important to be involved if you really want to have an inclusive support plan and to keep the individual at the heart of it. And of course, the main constant between all of these groups are support workers, and I think they're key. They're key to ensuring person-centred, inclusive support planning and support delivery in helping people to achieve their outcomes. But in order to do so, they need to be properly equipped. Communication is key between all of these people. We have so many different stakeholders involved in a wraparound service, and so really, how do we maintain that communication and keep things consistent, especially at times like this, for example, where people are remote working, particularly managers and providers and things, and the support workers out there on the front line. And really, I think it comes down to equipping them effectively, not just with PPE, as we know, but I think this is really where technology is stepping in, and it's really where technology can really sort of enhance services going forward. So I'm just going to go through this little part very briefly, but we're looking at the benefits of technology, particularly iPlanet, obviously, because this is the product that Aspiraco produced, against some sort of paper-based legacy standalone systems. So iPlanet, as a cloud-based system, is, well, first of all, it was built around the individual. It's got a very unique architecture in that the person was at the heart of how the system was built. This means that it's their support plan. It's not a support plan that fits a provider's particular needs, and then you just have to repeat that information. It means it's portable between various services. Also, iPlanet being a cloud-based system, people can actually, supported individuals can invite their circle of support into it, to see their records, and it keeps the system live. It's accessible from anywhere, which supports remote working. But also, by having different people involved, it means that outcomes and instructions and activities are consistent between different services. You're not having to repeat information. And just to illustrate that point, if you're looking at a paper-based system or a legacy system, a supported individual may provide the information to their provider. This goes on to their support workers. That information then may go into family and friends who put their impact back in. Community and activities, and activity centres and things like that will then have their input. Health professionals have their input. Social workers have their input, and then we get back to the supported individual. But this process, what you've actually done is build in potential pain points where you've got duplicate information, conflicting information. Whereas with using iPlanet or as a system like we have, it puts the supported individual at the heart of what we're doing. And all of those other circles of people involved in the circle of support can then be invited in, and then that information flows, a two-way system, but the supported individual remains at the heart. And putting it all together are valuable support workers. And of course, being cloud-based, it means that that information is always live and always relevant.